The time has come to replace the battery. Okay, so looks like we have a dead battery, and I'm gonna take this opportunity to upgrade. Now, if you don't watch one of my earlier videos, the car came with the battery that was already halfway out, so I replaced the battery with this lawn and garden battery. So this is for like a ride-in mower, something along those lines, and it only has 350 cranking amps, so cold cranking amps. It worked okay in the winter. It kind of cranked over a few times before the engine actually started. So again, I'm going to take the opportunity to upgrade, but the big problem here is trying to figure out what will fit here. So let's take a look. Okay, so I already had created a custom battery tie down based off of some over-the-counter aftermarket stuff, and I modified it to fit such a small battery. I actually just have these on with wing nuts, so I'm just gonna take those out and get the battery tie down out, and then we'll undo the terminals here. I actually had to modify the factory terminals as well. I just flattened them out and put a bolt through it, nothing fancy. All right, as you can see, there's quite a bit of corrosion, even though I've treated this area several times. But we're gonna get it cleaned up again and try to treat this rust with the converter. Okay, I'm gonna spray the rusted area with this. It's a product from Eastwood. It's called Fast Hedge. It basically treats rust and leaves a zinc phosphate coating so that you could then primer. You could do primer over that zinc coating and also paint. So I think this needs to cure for a little bit. You can't just like, because this is not like a paint or anything, it's basically like a type of acid. So I'm just gonna spray the area here where I see rust, and I have this piece of cardboard underneath because I don't know if this is gonna do anything to my driveway. I have used this in the past, and it basically it leaves the metal kind of like black after it starts doing its thing. So we'll just let that soak in there and leave it overnight, and then we could tackle the painting after that's dry. Okay, so now I got the battery out. The good news is all of that rust that you saw, most of the rust was actually from the bracket. You see, this was like a cheap Amazon battery hold down, like universal kind that kind of extends, and you could see the quality, really high quality. So the rust I knocked out was pretty much from here. There was a little bit of surface rust as well on the battery box as well, but I was glad that most of that flaky stuff I saw was coming from here. And you could see I was actually using the original little battery tray. I think this helps protect the metal from any acid that might leak. So I'm gonna use this as kind of like my measuring tape when I go look for a battery alternative. I have an idea of what to get, but I'm gonna see how far a battery from like a 89, or I should say 1999 Honda Civic. I think they have a very small battery. I think it's a lot taller than this, but I'm gonna start off with that and see where I land. Okay, so this had some time to cure, and you could kind of see it basically leaves like what was basically orange rust is now got like a black film on it. I'm just gonna wipe the residue with this cloth and then primer it. Looks like I got a match 151R. Okay, we got everything painted up, ready for installing the battery. I'm gonna do a dry run. I'm trying to figure out whether I should mount it like this with the positive terminal to the left like the factory was, but I might want to rotate it this way, which means I might have to extend my positive and negative lines maybe by as much as 4 or 5 inches and have them like cross over each other. The reason for that is I think it'll be better to have the terminals closer to the front, but I don't know yet. So I think I'm gonna first of all try to mount the battery in there, make sure this hardware I bought works and that this 3D printed piece I made works, because if it doesn't, it's all null and void anyway, so I have to figure out another way to attach it. But let's go ahead and get this in, at least mounted up on the truck and see what's the best way to go about this. Okay, so I've decided to mount the battery in the original way just because this battery is pretty tall compared to what was here. It's not that much taller than the factory one, but there's not a lot of finger space up here to work. So I feel like if I have the battery terminal towards the front, I won't have access to the anchors to remove the battery. So it just makes it more of a hassle. So I'm gonna install the battery this way. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cut off this terminal and put a correct, nice new terminal in here. And this one, I'm debating whether to use this eyelet that I already have here or if I should clean this up. It looks like both will work in conjunction with my battery terminal pieces that I bought. The idea is that I'll have them mounted this way to clear the openings here on this piece. Show you that. And then the wire will come in and just do a 90-degree turn and go right to that terminal, and this one will do the same to here. So yeah, so I'm gonna get these mounted up on here and then we could keep going with the battery install. So when I bought the battery, they gave me this dielectric grease and these felt washers, so I might as well use them. Alright, so installing these with the battery inside is proving to be a little bit too difficult because the nut is facing away from me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install these outside of the car and then just tighten the terminals inside the car. Okay, so I bought these things on Amazon and they came from China, and what's happening with this one, it's the top collar isn't tightening. Now a lot of it has to do with my support, but I don't understand how the positive one went on fine, so I'm thinking it's just bad quality, it's something that bent. In any case, I'm gonna continue to mount the battery, and then if anything I'll buy a different negative terminal and just reinstall that, but I want to get at least the battery mounted so I could put the cover on, protect it from the elements, because we're gonna get some rain. Okay, so a little bit of a pain in the butt, but I had to remove this off the car again. I couldn't get this terminal to stay tight, it kept coming off, so I had to like Dremel away a little bit. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna modify the STL file for this before I upload it. In case you want to download this file, I'll already like open this up a little bit just in case you get the same battery terminals. I actually went online, went on Amazon, see if I could find smaller ones, but they're all either wider or taller, and I didn't want that. I like the fact that these are compact and these have these covers, although these will still be exposed. You could still make a contact with that by accident. So in any case, I got that done, so I have the terminals nice and tight on there now. What I think I'm gonna do is I had these two pigtails here so that I had these bullet style connectors. So this is to power my auxiliary lights, the fog lights that I have throughout the car, which at this point I've removed and I haven't put back, but I will eventually. I'm debating whether to, instead of using these bullet style terminals or connectors, to use what I used on my B-Turbo, which are these, I think they're called Delphi style connectors. They're more weatherproof because they have this rubber gasket. The only thing I'm not sure is this gauge, this wire is pretty heavy gauge, and this isn't designed for such a heavy gauge, so I might swap these out for something a little bit lighter. I don't know yet. I'm gonna see what other gauge wire I have in the garage, and I might just recreate these pigtails and save this for something else later. Okay, so we got ourselves a new battery installed. So again, just to recap, I got this battery at Advanced because it was, and I got the gold because it was the only one in the size they had. This is a 151R. It's used on some small Honda. I think it's the Fit. I was gonna put in a 51R, which is from a Civic, but that battery would have been about 9 to 9.25 inches wide, which would have given me no room to install my J-hooks. I already had a hard time. I'm not gonna lie, it is a tight fit for you to work here if you have big hands. But you know, it works. And you got 370 cold cranking amps, 370 as opposed to 330 from the original battery that was on the car. I also installed this quick disconnect here for my auxiliary lights. See here, that's what it looks like. And you could just connect that and disconnect it when you remove the battery. I'll post a link for this 3D printed part, but if you don't have a 3D printer, what you can do is just get yourself a dog. No, not a dog. Yeah. Get yourself a piece of aluminum like this. This was going to be my backup plan. This is a 1x1 inch and 1/8 thick aluminum stock. You could just cut this long enough to strap the battery lengthwise, and then drill yourself 2 holes for the J-hooks to pop through, and you got yourself a battery tie down. The problem with trying to use stuff that is for sale on Amazon or eBay is that they all hold the battery on the short side, so they strap the battery going this way, not lengthwise. So that makes it challenging because you don't have the depth for that. What else? Just want to let you know about some of the stuff I used here. If you do a lot of tinkering with your car and you know, do electrical stuff, get yourself one of these and one of these. It's these are just string tubes. I think this is like less than 10 bucks. You know, I like to buy these things and just you know, every month I try to buy a little thing that I could stock in my arsenal of tools, and then I don't have to worry about running out of something. And this is another thing. I'll post a link to this as well. It's you know, male and female electrical connectors. You could buy assorted packs like this one that have like 4-wire connectors, 2-wire connectors, single wire, 3-wire. They're all available, and you'll need one of these tools. It's a crimping tool. I'll see if this is an Amazon part, I'm not sure, but something like this will be very good if you do a lot of electrical work. All right, we have the battery cover on there, nice and snug. One thing left to do, crank it over and see how she do. All right, just let that fuel pump prime a little bit. Nice. Big difference from before with that lawn and garden battery. Let me turn this over. Alright guys, once again, if you're looking to upgrade your battery but want to keep everything OEM other than the battery terminals, this is the way to go about it, and I would suggest you do something like this. Thanks again for watching. Hope to have some more new videos on the ACTY for you soon. Take care.